Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for March 31st, 2025. Firstly, the United States is set to impose reciprocal tariffs on approximately 15% of its trade partners, targeting countries with significant trade deficits. The list of affected countries includes China, the EU, Mexico, Vietnam, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Canada, and India. This move has sparked widespread concern and uncertainty among major trading partners, with many vowing to take countermeasures. In related news, the United Kingdom is racing against time to agree on a trade deal that could potentially exempt it from these measures. British officials are engaged in intense negotiations with their U.S. counterparts, offering concessions such as dropping the digital services tax in an effort to secure a mutually beneficial agreement. Lastly, we're seeing a dramatic turn of events as the clock ticks down to Wednesday's announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump on reciprocal tariffs. The stakes are high, with British officials warning of severe economic consequences if a 20% increase in tariffs on UK goods and services materializes. These developments have far-reaching implications for the global economy, trade relations, and businesses around the world. We'll continue to provide updates and analysis as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. I'm Walter, and we'll see you again soon. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, Russia's Supreme Court is set to consider lifting the ban on the Taliban, a move that could have far-reaching implications for global relations and security. This decision comes after President Vladimir Putin described the Taliban as an ally in the fight against terrorism last year. We've spoken to experts who note that Moscow sees the Taliban as a means of ensuring its trade and security interests in the region. But human rights advocates are expressing concerns about the potential implications of this move. In related news, Moldova has accused Russia of interfering in its domestic politics after a pro-Russian lawmaker, Alexander Nestorov, was sentenced to 12 years in prison for illegally channeling money to a pro-Russian party. The Moldovan Security Service released a video allegedly showing Nestorov entering the Russian embassy in Chisinau and being driven away to avoid sentencing. Lastly, we're following a story about Russia's influence in Moldovan politics, where authorities have detained several pro-Russian officials on charges of illegal political funding. The European Union has expressed support for Moldova's pro-European government and its efforts to integrate into the EU, calling on Russia to respect Moldova's sovereignty and territorial integrity. We'll continue to monitor these situations and provide updates and analysis as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining us on this evening's edition of the AI Daily Press. I'm Barbara, and we'll be back with more news and insights after this break. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we took a closer look at the Indian stock market, where the Sensex and Nifty are seeing significant fluctuations driven by domestic and global factors. We noted that foreign portfolio investors have been net sellers of Indian equities for the third consecutive month, but their outflows have slowed down significantly in recent times. Meanwhile, domestic funds have taken a contrasting approach, investing heavily in equities throughout March. Next, we delve into the world of international trade, where the Trump administration's upcoming tariff decision is being closely watched. This development could have far-reaching implications for global trade and the Indian economy. We also touched on the attractiveness of the Indian market relative to the U.S., which is facing recessionary pressures. Lastly, we shone the spotlight on the surge in gold prices, with its value doubling in just about 9 months. We explored the reasons behind this remarkable rally, including central banks and exchange-traded funds snapping up gold like never before. With trade tensions escalating and geopolitical conflicts brewing, investors are seeking safe haven assets like gold to hedge against uncertainty. That's a quick summary of our top stories for tonight. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, it's always important to stay informed and adapt to changing market conditions. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of finance. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and as always, keep your wits about you. This is Louise, your trusted anchor, signing off. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. First, we celebrated the announcement of NASA's new class of astronaut candidates, who will embark on a journey to explore the vast expanse of space and push the boundaries of human knowledge. We also delved into the world of planetary formation, where scientists have made a groundbreaking discovery about the origins of our solar system. A team of researchers has proposed a new theory that could revolutionize our understanding of how planets are formed. Next, we explored the mysterious past of Mercury, the smallest planet in our solar system. Scientists have uncovered clues that suggest Mercury's magnetic field may be much older than previously thought, which could have significant implications for our understanding of the planet's evolution. Finally, we ventured into the remnants of a dead star, where a team of researchers has made a remarkable discovery about the destruction of a giant planet. The Helix Nebula, a vast cloud of gas and dust, is emitting intense X-ray radiation, which scientists believe may be powered by the debris of a Jupiter-sized world that was torn apart by the white dwarf at its center. These stories remind us of the awe-inspiring complexity and beauty of the universe, and our responsibility to care for our own planet as we continue to explore and understand the cosmos. Join us next time on the AI Daily Press as we explore more stories from the frontiers of science and discovery. Until then, keep looking up at those stars and wondering what secrets they hold. Good night, and clear skies. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, in Major League Baseball, a technological innovation has taken the field by storm. High-tech bats are being used by some players, allowing them to hit home runs with unprecedented ease. While some see this as a natural evolution of the sport, others argue that it provides an unfair advantage and disrupts the traditional dynamics of the game. Secondly, in college football, Stanford University has appointed former NFL head coach Frank Reich as its interim head coach for the upcoming season. This move is seen as a significant step towards rebuilding the school's struggling football program, which has suffered 4 consecutive losing seasons. Reich brings a wealth of experience and expertise to the role, having served as head coach for the Indianapolis Colts and Carolina Panthers. Lastly, in the National Football League, a contentious debate is brewing over a proposal to ban the infamous tush-push quarterback sneak play, popularized by the Philadelphia Eagles. The Green Bay Packers have submitted a formal proposal to outlaw the play, citing concerns over player safety and pace of game. However, not everyone is convinced that the play poses a genuine threat to player safety, with data from the 2022 season showing no evidence of injuries directly related to the tush-push play. These stories highlight the ever-changing landscape of sports, where innovation, strategy, and controversy often collide. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight's podcast. Thank you for tuning into the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, good night. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we looked at the issue of corruption within local government, highlighting a disturbing example from Leso, Denmark, where a council's decision to dump asbestos posed serious health risks and attempted to cover up mismanagement. This story is part of a larger investigation into Victorian councils, revealing cases of fraud, mismanagement, and lack of transparency. In contrast, our second story took us to the charming island of Leso, Denmark, where we discovered a unique community that's rich in history, culture, and natural beauty. We explored the island's famous salt production, langoustine harvesting, and traditional seaweed houses, showcasing the resourcefulness and ingenuity of its people. Lastly, we examined the ongoing issue of racism and inequality in our society, as highlighted in an article about the struggles faced by marginalized communities. Although this story wasn't featured in tonight's podcast, it's an important topic that we'll continue to follow and report on in the future. As always, we're committed to bringing you fair, balanced, and informative reporting. Thank you for joining us on this evening's edition of the AI Daily Press. We'll continue to follow these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. Until next time, good night, and stay informed. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we have the charming tale of TikTok sensation and fashionista, Emma Chamberlain, who's been making waves with her unique style and wit. Unfortunately, our article on her was not provided, so let's move on to the next story. Next, we attended the breathtaking Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show, where fashion and florals came together in a stunning display of color and creativity. The show was a testament to the power of fashion to bring people together and create a sense of community. We saw some absolute showstoppers on display, from bright pink petal patterns to head-to-toe Balenciaga in matching print. And finally, we're talking about the intense brawl that broke out during the Detroit Pistons versus Minnesota Timberwolves game on Sunday. The altercation resulted in the ejection of 7 individuals, including 5 players and 2 coaches. Despite the loss, the Pistons have tripled their win total from last season and have postseason play locked up with 7 games remaining. That's all for tonight, folks. Until next time, stay entertained, fashionable, and keep on tuning in. Can we talk? Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we looked at a recent report highlighting the alarming rate of habitat destruction and its impact on global biodiversity. The study emphasizes the need for immediate action to protect our planet's precious ecosystems and prevent irreversible damage. Secondly, we ventured into the world of African savanna elephants, exploring how researchers are using innovative models to understand these animals' migration patterns and design more effective conservation corridors. By protecting these endangered creatures and their habitats, we can reduce human-wildlife conflict and promote the health of our planet's ecosystems. Lastly, we focused on the challenges facing Belize, a country in Central America known for its stunning biodiversity and rich ecosystems. We discussed the need for sustainable tourism models, community-driven governance, and climate resilience to safeguard Belize's natural heritage and ensure the long-term conservation of its forests, wildlife, and marine ecosystems. These stories highlight the complexities and interconnectedness of environmental issues and the importance of taking a multifaceted approach to address them. As we conclude this evening's podcast, I urge our listeners to join us in prioritizing conservation and sustainability for the benefit of our planet and future generations. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, good night. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.